DogPack might have realized that he could gateway into, like, from his video into Rosanna's channel, especially after he lost like a lot of credibility with his third video.
Are you familiar with Rosanna posting repeated feet pictures to bait the wiki feet people? You obviously flew to America, right?
Yeah.
Did you cover those costs yourself, or did mrbeast in any way pay?
I'm gonna be honest on that.
Soggy Cereal.
Hey, ChudLogic.
The man of the hour. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. But I just got off the bus. So just so you know, I'm not like behind my PC or anything. Just walking outside.
No, it's fine. I mean, I don't even know if you saw this, but I actually expressed, I mean, I don't think I'm a particularly massive creator. I expressed some skepticism about you. I thought you deleted the slop video because you didn't want to proceed with the allegations against DogPack.
No. No. The reason, there are several reasons that I removed that video. One being that after hearing more Pegasus talk in the WestJet video, I kind of felt bad. Which he kind of felt. I don't know if you watched the WestJet video, on my slop video.
The West. Oh yes, yes, I did. I did see that. Yeah.
And so in that video, you have more Pegasus talk about how he felt backstabbed by me and stuff, and that we were on like friendly terms. And I realized watching that I might have misinterpreted some DMs from the past. So for some context, we were on friendly terms, but then I felt like he was kind of pressuring me as a larger channel to cover drama and picking his side when I didn't agree with his side on specific drama. And because of that, I started like viewing his content in from a more malicious perspective. As in, I thought that his content was more malicious from that point on. And so then I became more critical of him, and then I made my slop video as well, covering how, you know, he spreaded all this misinformation with the DogPack videos. But also, when I did talk about the misinformation he spread, I know that the stuff I disproved about DogPack's videos were basically nothing burgers. Reason for that those were nothing burgers was because I didn't want to use any real ammunition yet. I wanted to keep that for this video. But so when I heard more Pegasus talk in WestJet's video, I realized that maybe I had misinterpreted those past DMs.
Right, yeah.
And I just felt guilty about throwing him kind of under the bus, even though I do still think that my criticism stands, especially now after my latest video, because more Pegasus has done irreparable damage to mrbeast just because he didn't fact check anything and took everything DogPack said as like fact. But whatever. Anyway, I took my slop video down because I felt guilty for more Pegasus.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
because
sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry. The other reason was that I just, at that point, which might sound like a little bit of a pussy ass bitch move, but I didn't want to deal with like backlash because my mental wanted to be purely focused on this video. I just wanted to have pure focus on this video, not deal with, you know, like some mental stuff from getting backlash on that slop video. I was just like, fuck this, I want to work on this video. And yeah, so I didn't want to feel guilt against more Pegasus, and I didn't want to feel, you know, yeah, whatever. I just wanted to focus on this video.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, I've said, I mean, I don't even know if you fucking noticed it, but I always like to say when I'm wrong about something. So I said, yeah, I was wrong about this this guy in this video. But it was just a bit confusing because I thought the video was good, and then it goes down and it's like, oh, I've spoken to some people and I've decided to take it down. And it seemed like what you had on DogPack was quite weak in that video. It's just a couple of messages, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't want to use any real ammunition yet.
No,
and also that video was more so about like the topic of like misinformation being spread. But yeah, then the misinformation that I showed being spread seemed like, you know, nothing burgers. So yeah, I was thinking of now making like my slop video public because it's somewhat of an addendum to my most recent video, but I'm probably not going to because of, you know, the more Pegasus stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I mean, to be honest with you, the one thing I probably would have wanted to talk to you about has already been resolved, I think, and it's this little cam nuggets situation.
Yeah. I also talked to Lyrics about this. Yeah, that was just a stupid fuck up. So I
Okay.
guess, like, I've worked a fucking shit ton of hours on this video, and that's not an excuse, obviously. But what I wanted to do there was not paint Cam Nuggets as a pedophile or anything, but more so use it as like a point of hypocrisy towards Dogpack. Being like how he just instantly condemns Jimmy for not knowing about Ava, while he is like in contact with Cam Nuggets. It was kind of a jab at Dogpack, and I think in that segment I was too tunnel visioned on Dogpack, and just forgot to add necessary context about the Cam Nugget situation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
again, I
sure.
just
I
cut it
mean,
out of my
you know,
video. It was
that I think I can definitely see where you're coming from. It just seemed to me like, I don't know if you know much about Cam Nuggets, but it seemed like you were just putting them on blast because you were like, you said something like, "Oh, this guy's in Discord watching kids spread their cheeks" or something like that, right?
Yeah. I think I said like, oh, and Dawson, it's kind of ironic when your friends look at the minors spread their assholes in Discord. Yeah. That's I think I said something like that. But yeah, again, like I just
it's
didn't
difficult because you already
think
deleted it,
about
bro.
how
I don't know.
serious that would look against Cam Nuggets. I just didn't really think about how that serious would look, against Cam Nuggets. But then once I realized, and I saw that Cam Nuggets was fucking panicking, I was like, shit, okay, I'm like, this is not good for Cam Nuggets. Even though I don't like the guy at all, and I think that he completely mishandled like the entire situation with how he just spread Dogpack's lies as well. I didn't want to cause him any unnecessary panic, and I realized that this was more serious than I thought, and I just instantly, removed it from my video.
Yeah, I mean, you're not privy to the conversations I've just had, but I've been just saying, Cam Nuggets is like, I'm not to excuse his actions; it can still be bad and he can be criticised, but he is like a very like low IQ individual. He's very unintelligent, you know.
Look, I don't want to like like shit on
No,
the
it's
guy or
fine.
anything,
No, it's
but
fine.
I do feel like he might be easily persuadable. Let me put it like that. I
Yes,
guess.
based. Okay, that's we're on the same page there. We don't need to go all the way there.
Yeah.
The one thing I think maybe we do disagree on is I think you kind of shit on Jake Weddle adequately, but you did say that he was like manipulated, and then I think you said Rosanna was manipulated and didn't really elaborate further. What's your kind of perspective on that?
Oh, I mean, as in, I feel like Dogpack might have realized that he could gateway into like from his video into Rosanna's channel, especially after he lost like a lot of credibility with his third video. And so after finding the whole CP stuff, maybe he was like, oh, since I lost a lot of credibility, let me partner up with Rosanna, and use her bigger channel. Now,
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to publicly say my personal opinion on Rosanna. It's definitely not the most positive opinion, but I wanted to focus on Dawson and his allegations. Now, to be fair, the CP allegations were made together with Rosanna, so she also needs to be held accountable for those.
Hang on a sec. Are you scared of Rosanna's big channel size? Is that what this is?
No,
Okay.
I'm not scared of her big channel size, but I just wanted to focus on Dawson, I guess. I wanted to focus on Dawson.
Okay.
And
Got
because
it. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like, even though again my opinion on Rosanna is anything but it's definitely not positive. Definitely not positive. I feel like Dawson has done the most damage by far. And then on second place, I feel like more Pegasus has done the second most damage by far by spreading Dawson's points towards millions of people.
No, that's fair. I
It's like
just presumed that maybe you felt
under
like that
them,
because
I
of what
guess.
you said earlier about not wanting backlash, but that makes perfect sense. This was more about Dogpack, and these other people are
Oh
just
yeah,
participants in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
story.
No,
Right.
it's not that I didn't want backlash from Rosanna.
Okay.
Um, yeah, no. That's yeah, no. The thing is with the backlash on the slop video, I didn't want that because I genuinely felt guilty about the more Pegasus thing. So the backlash was getting to me because I was like, fuck yeah, maybe I screwed up here. Maybe I did do a wrong thing, throwing Pegasus kind of in front of a bus.
Okay.
So when you feel wrong about something yourself and then you get backlash for it, it feels more seriously, right? It kind of cuts deeper. But
Yes.
if Rosanna would fucking start shitting on me for this, I'd be like, yeah, well, okay, but I didn't do anything wrong. Like, you should take accountability for your actions, Rosanna. So that's different.
Okay.
But yeah.
This is a quite important element of my theory in all of this. Are you familiar with Rosanna posting repeated feet pictures to bait the wiki feet people?
I I know about her podcast and how she's advertising it. I do know about that, which is with her feet, I guess. But I don't know what's going on with her. She has a wiki feed and she's trying to advertise it, or what?
Well, I think it's more so that she's doing this thing where she's showing a bit of her feet, knowing that people like her feet, and because she's like 39 years old, she's teasing
Uh,
a bit of sexuality in a way to get positive male attention without giving too much away. That's my theory.
well, that is an interesting theory, and I won't say that it's out of um out of reason, I guess.
Okay,
It's
okay,
like,
fair
yeah,
enough.
I won't say it's out of reason, but
You're trying to be careful.
I
I
don't
get
know
it. I
that much about
understand.
Rosanna.
You're trying to avoid
Yeah,
any kind of controversy. I get it. Right? Isn't you don't want to be
yeah,
fucking on here saying crazy stuff. Fair enough. Okay.
yeah. I want to be serious. The thing is that I feel like this is. I know that a lot is like being memed about Dawson and shit, but and Dogpack, but I feel like this is fucking serious.
Hmm.
Jimmy, even though he like there is shit that he has done that he needs to take accountability for, and there is a lot of valid criticism that can be made against him, and that's fair. But like he has been slandered for months now, and I don't think people realize just how serious that is. Imagine you're a person who has been gone through fucking slander for like 4 months. Um, so yeah, I know. I want to take this very seriously. I don't want to like meme too much about stuff such as Rosanna.
I understand.
Um,
Yeah, I get it. No, no,
yeah.
that's totally
If
fair.
it
You
were
know.
about other topics, I'd fucking meme and joke around. But with this, I'm like somewhat serious, I guess. But yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, look, I don't want to, get too blown smoke up your ass. It's obviously a great video. I think everyone's seen it's a great video. I think there was lots of surprises. You kind of brought people on that people weren't expecting to see, which is, great. The thing that really hit home for me, that guy that you spoke to who had his
The
call
phone call?
recorded, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Garrett. Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was, dude. I was so happy when he wanted to talk because he was a bit hesitant. He wasn't sure if he wanted to go on record about this and show his face um on all of this because that's the thing. Like a lot of those employees were genuinely scared. I've seen comments about people saying like, "Oh, Mr. Beast pushed his employees into doing these interviews." Like, no, these people were scared to do interviews. Yet they were brave enough because they were tired of all of this bullshit to do the interviews. Jimmy didn't like he didn't know who I interviewed. He didn't know like he knew that Dustin was like, talking to me and stuff
Yeah.
to some extent,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he didn't know who I was interviewing. He he didn't know about like the leaked Dogpack firing interview. Like he was really not involved into this, and I wanted to make sure because at first I wanted to interview Jimmy, but
Right.
then when I was talking to Dustin, I realized like maybe I shouldn't interview Jimmy and I should completely leave him out of this because if I interview him, that might Jimmy obviously will be unbiased, and so like his employees are obviously also sorry, Jimmy won't be unbiased, and his employees are obviously also not completely unbiased, like they work at the company, but it's still different. um but yeah, those Anyway, yeah. Sorry if I don't know why I went on this rant, but
No, it's
I
fine.
find it so weird that people are like saying that. While I think that those employees are fucking brave to go on record for this. Yeah, I don't even know why I started talking about
No,
this,
no, it's
but
fine.
sorry,
It's
go
fine.
ahead if you have any
One thing I
more
actually
questions.
wanted to ask, just as a kind of matter of record, is you
Yeah,
obviously
sure.
flew to America, right?
Yeah,
Did you cover those costs yourself, or did Mr. Beast in any way pay?
I'm gonna be honest on that. So I offered to do interviews to Dustin, and so I was the one who offered that to want to do interviews. I reached out to Dustin about that after he reached out to me. He said that he wanted to do an interview and maybe try to ask some other employees if they wanted to do interviews. But since it was last moment and very expensive, Dustin, as far as I know, paid for those, and not on a Mr. Beast card, because when I got at like the hotel, which they said that it was on the card of like literally his name, like his personal card, not non-company cards. And that's all I know. So yeah, that's. I want to be completely transparent about that. I just didn't have the funds to do
No, no,
so.
no. That's fine. I
But that's
I
it.
don't necessarily think
Yeah.
that's an issue, but I don't know if I maybe missed it. Was that said in the video, or is it somewhere in your description, just to really get it clear that that happened?
No, it's not in the video.
No, no, sure. I mean, obviously, you know, it's up to you. I would say that just putting that in there somewhere, like as a comment or a thing, would probably just in case it comes up, like that could be a line of attack, right? Like you were paid to go out there.
I get that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I think what I might do is like I'm obviously gonna have some. But I don't know if I can say this, but I'm obviously gonna have some interviews or whatever with people,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm 100% sure that they're gonna ask me this question, and I'm again just gonna be transparent about that. And yeah, if it are like decently sized creators, and so I feel like it's gonna spread around like that, and if not, then I'll put it in the description. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you
but
know, I'm not asking this as like a sort of massive criticism of the video, right? It's
no,
just, I think it's
yeah,
important
no,
to clarify these details because that's, I mean, if
yeah.
anything, it strengthens it if you can clarify that because then it makes it less likely to be attacked, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And the only reason that I didn't personally pay for those flights is because I just couldn't. Which yeah, because I'm still like a not the largest YouTuber out there.
I mean, you know, I'm asking
So
for
yeah,
like a kind of like a journalistic standard or something, I guess. But this is your biggest project
yeah,
you've ever done.
yeah. By far, this is yeah, by far. Most projects I do is just research on my laptop and yeah, that's it. Doing research on my laptop, maybe filming some skits. But this was completely out of the scope I had ever even imagined. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
really
mean,
happy with how it turned out.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I think it's a really good video, and I think you've really demonstrated Dogpack's dishonesty in all of this. I think you saw my
Yeah,
tweet about this, but you know, there's this idea that he's taking credit somehow for the Chris Tyson thing when he
yeah, I saw that.
right
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
he capitalized on it. He jumped on the story to try and
yeah.
take advantage of it, right?
I genuinely believe that he wasn't completely like ready with his video, as in didn't edit it to the point he wanted to have it edited. But that because of like the Ava Chris Tyson drama, he realized that he just had to release it. That's what I personally honestly believe. Like that he did release it at that point because of the Ava Chris Tyson stuff. And
Yeah,
as you said, he didn't expose any of that shit. Literally none of it was exposed by him. The only thing he said was like, "Oh yeah, everyone knew at the company. It was like water cooler talk. Everyone knew about Ava being a pedophile," which is so fucking stupid and insane. That would mean that a company with like 300 employees, every single person would know, and literally no one would like think that's a bad thing. It's fucking absurd. But yeah, that's the only thing he said about it, if I remember correctly. Um, yeah,
yeah. It comes across to me like he almost felt like he had to have some sort of expose of sexual misconduct because he teased it in some way. And that's
Yeah,
why the James Warren stuff and the LaCoya stuff, beyond having an axe to grind, seems so hashed together. Like he didn't really have anything to say on that, but he just made it up
yeah,
almost, right?
yeah. I mean, the Lokoya Hill stuff. Like again, there was an employee who did file a complaint. Like that did happen.
Mm.
But then they, as I think Kara clarified in an interview, they hired like an unbiased third party to investigate, and they didn't find anything. But they still, even though they didn't find anything, still asked the one who made the complaint what they wanted to happen to Lokoya, and then they wanted Lokoya to be placed to like another company or whatever. Even though the third party didn't find anything. So, but I just want to say that the Lokoya Hill accusation was a bit more serious than the James Warren one, because there was actually a complaint made, I guess, at the company.
Mm.
But then it was investigated and they didn't find anything.
Yeah, because Dogpack's video, there was like
But the
about
James Warren stuff was fucking bullshit. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, yeah, I think we agree on that. There wasn't really anything to the James Warren stuff, but the LaCoya Hill thing, he presented about 8 different stories, and
Yeah,
I sort of said, well, obviously we've got no proof, but this would probably be the most likely one of some sort of sexual harassment. I don't know if you're privy to the information to say, but like, you didn't really go into much detail in the video about what the LaCoya Hill thing actually was. Was that like made clear to you, or did you look at anything with that?
it was made clear to me to some extent, but like that was a situation where there couldn't be like there wasn't proof to 100% objectively disprove it. Like, but that's the thing with allegations like that. Those can be 100% disproved. Just as the James Warren stuff technically can be 100% disproved. Um, if you get what I mean. But yeah, as far as I know, they don't have a lot of merit to them. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure. And obviously, as long as what is expressed in the interview is true, and this person didn't want them to be let go, and they're happy with that, I think moving them somewhere else is probably okay, fine. I don't think there's any problem with that, really.
yeah. Well, I mean, they did say that like if the unbiased investigator or investigative company did find anything, then they'd obviously just fire him. But the only reason they didn't just fire him was because they didn't find anything, and then they gave the employee the decision to, have the company do whatever he felt most comfortable with. So, which I feel like that is like a pretty responsible take from the company. But yeah,
Yeah, okay. Also, the other thing, the Mr. Beast criticisms were kind of, I think, kind of scattered throughout the video. If you had to like issue like a brief summary of your criticisms for Mr. Beast in all of this, like what would they be in one go?
I mean, obviously the first illegal lottery. I think even though, like, I then in the company talk about it maybe being a mistake, but that doesn't take away that they did make a lot of money in that stream. And so I do feel like, even though it might have been a mistake, ignorance doesn't necessarily mean innocence. So I do feel like there has to be accountability taken there. I feel like they should be way more upfront about if things happen, like in the 7 days on sea video where they have to get off of the boat. Now, personally, I don't give a shit about that. I don't see that as faking a challenge. But I know that a lot of people care about like the full integrity that Mr. Beast has when it comes to his challenges. So I feel like if a safety team forces them off the raft or whatever, they should be completely transparent about that instead of just not mentioning it in the video. I feel like he should be less corporate in a way of marketing stuff. Now I don't know, I'm a little bit double on that. What else?
What about the sex offender stuff? What do you think about all that exactly?
Oh yeah, the Delaware stuff. Again, they're like, ignorance doesn't mean innocence, but I don't know what he could do to take accountability there, because at this point they do background checks. Ever since they like grew as a company, they started doing background checks for everyone. Which, like, what more can you do about the fact that you hired a sex offender in the past? And
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think
when you're
I'm
19,
just yeah.
but,
We agree,
like,
right? It's like you can't
yeah,
really do much you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. All you can do is move forward in the
yeah,
best way, right?
yeah. But you can just take accountability and make sure that shit like that never happens again. And I feel like they're trying to do that. But yeah. But there's like, I guess what I do really care about is like the crypto stuff, which CoffeeZilla elaborated on that. That on one side it might have been like malicious from Jimmy's side. On the other side, it might have been him just being ignorant and kind of a degenerate, I guess, when it comes to crypto. But either way, I also feel like he should take accountability for that. Like, he made a lot of money on it either way. I know he also lost a lot of money on like other crypto coins, but in the end, I feel like he made money on it. So yeah, I know. I feel like he should be held accountable for that as well, even if it weren't illegal, even if he was ignorant, and didn't do it out of like malicious profit reasons. Still feel like he should take accountability on that in a way of, I don't know, donating the money he earns to charity or whatever, and not making a video about it, just like maybe a tweet with proof and receipt. But yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more. I guess the main thing from your perspective is like, what do you think should happen to Dogpack from here?
Um, I don't know. It's weird that he hasn't said anything at all. Although on the other side, like, what could he say?
Hmm.
I don't know. But what I do feel he might do at this point is kind of what he has been doing for the past few weeks as well, is just like work behind the scenes, kind of send stuff to other people, maybe appear on other people's channels if possible, like he kind of did with Rosanna. And if he makes a third video, I feel like it'll be kind of like his second video, where he lets other people do the talking, and then he like frames it in specific ways by, I don't know, editing or asking leading questions to the people he's interviewing. With how disingenuine the Jake Weddle video was. But make sure to let the people he's interviewing talk, and he himself not making more claims, because his credibility is eviscerated. But when his credibility is eviscerated, people might still want to listen to the other people talking, to the people he's interviewing. So if he makes a third video, I feel like it's more so gonna lean on people that he interviews, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
It does, and it's funny because obviously I think you included some Nicholas Diorio tweets in your coverage, and when Nicholas was pressing him on some stuff, he put out this like, dude, it's so autistic to explain this old stupid drama about a group chat, to put it simply. Okay.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even understand what was going on there. Like, they're just hitting on them because they were, I guess, like, kind of laughing with Rosanna in private, which is, like, okay.
Dude,
That's all I got from it. I don't know.
I don't know how plugged in you are to like the Keemstar commentary kind of space exactly.
The Goon Squad. I don't know much about the Goon
The Goon
Squad.
Squad.
I don't know much about that. So, but please enlighten me, dude.
I mean, to put it very simply, it's funny because I got added to this group chat a week before the leaks happened, and I wasn't in the leaks, but I got kind of wrapped up in it somehow. But anyway, the basic point is it's a private group chat of drama creators talking about drama together, and at times, Keemstar being quite aggressive in pursuing someone called Salvo Pancakes because of bad things that they've done. Right? That is the kind of long story short, and obviously, Dogpack and Rosanna tried to present that as proof that there was a cabal working for mrbeast behind the scenes.
Yeah, classic. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Yeah,
and in any case, the basic point I was trying to make is I wonder if like that is Dogpack's strategy, is like he's a bit like a cornered animal and you've cornered him. And so is he going to try and lash out at you? Is he going to try and find something to come at you for? Something in your history?
Yeah, I definitely feel like he's gonna try to maybe dismantle my video in any way, because I don't know if you remember or saw how he reacted after my slop video, which was me basically presenting some nothing burgers, and he fucking went wild, He lost it, which was so funny to me, because I basically talked about nothing, and he went wild. He tried to like slander me with the tweet about me committing plagiarism, which he then deleted because I instantly disproved it, and most people took my side as well. And then he DM'd me in private about wanting to slander me about like another creator making a video on the 30 days Eric challenge, which he said the video was made a month before mine, but it was made 11 days before mine because that person covered 11 less days than I did about the 30-day Eric challenge.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, the thumbnail. He put a thumbnail out and accused you of something to do with the thumbnail, wasn't it?
No, yeah, that was about the Twitter stuff. But then the stuff he talked about in private about me like committing plagiarism on like my 30-day Eric video, that was something entirely different, which I instantly disproved. I put the screenshots in my video as well, but it goes like by pretty quickly. So he doesn't have that, and I don't know how he could attack me, but I feel like he might try to dismantle my video, even though I have no idea how he would do that. So yeah, I honestly have no idea what he's gonna do. But genuinely, I also don't really care. I really don't like the guy. I think he's a bad person through and through. But that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, sure. People in chat are asking me to ask about a Cheeto. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess those people might have been in lyrics live stream yesterday.
Okay.
But so after my slop video, which I want to be upfront about this, I don't have anything against a Cheeto, although I do feel like he should maybe have a little bit of a thicker skin, because he kind of shits on people for a living, almost. But so after my slop video, in my slop video, I have two small segments where I show a Cheetos like channel.
Right.
I have a part where I eat oatmeal.
Yes.
And it's like slop. Yeah. A Cheetos channel is in the oatmeal at that point. And I also have a part where I talk about people like slop channels jumping on the mrbeast drama, the DogPack mrbeast drama. And I have a poop emoji and some slop channels flying to that poop emoji. And a Cheeto is there as well. I never verbally mention a Cheetos channel at any point. So after my video drops, a Cheeto reaches out to me and calls me, and he's like very serious about like, yeah, why did you put me in there? And he was really serious about this. He thought it was kind of messed up, and he felt really offended, I guess.
Right. Okay.
And I offered him three things: to blur the segments where he was in, to put a disclaimer in the description, and to make like a pinned comment. And he declined on all of those. So I was like, okay, sure, that's fine. And then I just talked about my reasoning why I put him in my video and stuff. And I felt like we left it on pretty good terms. Again, since I offered him to censor like the segments where he was in. And he was like, yeah, I'm still going to criticize your video though, but thanks for your insight, Soggy, and your reasoning. And then he released his video, and it was the most disingenuous shit I have ever seen. Like, he just picks everything apart out of context. He cuts out segments where I introduce more nuance on slop channels. Legitimately just cuts that out, doesn't react to those. He just puts in like the worst segments of my video, I guess. Yeah, I know. But that's the Cheeto thing. I know that a Cheeto has behaved like that towards other creators. That whenever when people like make joking comments towards him, he gets like very offended easily, which again is pretty ironic. with the content he makes. But yeah.
I mean, that is very funny. Okay, and I can see why people wanted to ask about that. I got to be honest with you, mate. You sound too nice. You're too nice to people, aren't you?
Look. I feel like I don't want to. I want to make content where I obviously also criticize people in my content, but I don't want to create hate towards people who aren't like bad people.
Right,
and when
okay.
Cheeto reached out to me, I felt like he might not. He's not a bad person. You know, I kind of felt bad for him, and so yeah, I offered to censor him out of my video, but then he made a fucking disingenuine video on me. But for example, when I make a video about animal abuse, if those channels, I don't know if you saw that, but I have like a video on animal abuse where I deep dive into specific channels. If they reached out to me, I'd be like, fuck you, get lost. I don't give a shit. But when, you know, people like a Cheeto reach out and they talk about how they feel bad and stuff, then yeah, I try to see both sides. I try to like envision myself in their shoes and maybe be open to seeing or hearing another perspective. But yeah, maybe that's me being too nice. I don't fucking know.
Well, no, I'm the other end of the spectrum. I'm very jaded and cynical, and I've helped people before that have fucked me over, so I'm a bit different about it.
I respect that. I respect that. I can respect that.
But even then, you know, I probably still have moments where I'm still too nice. You know, I give people a shot, and you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of everything I had on my mind to talk about. Is there anything you want to say or add to all this?
Start a movement to make people want to sue DogPack. That's what I'm feeling. That's really like, I genuinely believe that he should be sued to smithereens. You know, dude. When I had that interview with Hoodie, like the manager, which I have a 1 hour and a half interview with Hoodie, the manager of Dawson, and he talks in like a specific part. He talks about the videos of Dawson hurting the philanthropy channel, and once I heard that, like I was boiling. I was fucking boiling inside when I heard that like what Dawson is doing, a disgruntled employee, is hurting philanthropy. It's making it so that less people would get like prosthetics to walk again and shit. And at that point I was like, yeah, this guy should get sued. Dawson should get sued. He should get whatever backlash and consequences that can come from him slandering the entire mrbeast company this much. And at that point, like I was still a little bit open-minded to Dawson maybe having some good intentions. But from that point, I was like, yeah, I know he's just awful. He's just an awful person, and he deserves every consequence that could come from whatever my video does. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. Well done on your video. And yeah, I guess all the best for the future.
Thanks, man. And if you have any more questions or whatever in the future, feel free to reach out. Thank you for having me, dude.
No worries. Thanks for coming on.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. I think Nicholas is right. And chat the other day, I've got this compulsion. Like, I can't just, you know, have a nice convo without any... there has to be some disagreement somewhere.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Talk about.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Dawson cost me a leg. Fuck that guy.
Thank you for the $3. Appreciate it. I don't think I said anything that unreasonable, but at times it did feel a bit nitpicky. I think the stuff about the flight cost is fine, but like at times I felt a bit like, okay, am I nitpicking a bit here? I don't know.